Welcome back to Right Answers Mostly, a podcast on what you didn't learn in history class, but you really wanted to. I'm Claire Donald.
And I'm Tess Bellomo.
And Ramey's welcome back to Women's History Month 2026.
We're loving it.
We are loving it. And this subject came to us in a very fun way.
It did.
We have an exciting announcement. We're doing a live show at USC this week. That's right, University of Southern California.
We are geniuses, and geniuses recognize geniuses.
Well, that's what we've been saying. We've been saying that. And yeah, for a girl who didn't even go to college, I'm so excited to be speaking at the USC Business School.
I mean, this is our first time that we're going to a college. It's very Elle Woods coded, and we're just going to tell the kids what we're all about.
Yeah, what we're all about. First but not the last.
Exactly. I know. So now we're going to manifest a dream of a list of colleges. So if you're a college Rammy, reach out to us. If your school has a business program or any program, we'll come talk to you guys.
Any program. We can talk about literally anything.
See, that's so true.
Yeah. So call us, universities.
Mm-hmm.
They asked us to do a USC alum, and so we chose Shonda Rhimes. And then I started doing my research on Shonda, and I was like, wait, this is actually so fun and interesting. We got to bring it to main feed.
Oh, I can't wait.
So Tess, what do you know about Shonda Rhimes?
I mean, I was a big Grey's Anatomy girly.
Who wasn't?
In high school and college, but I did stop at season, I want to say 7. I watched Scandal. I've seen some of her movies, but I don't know much about her journey, the arc of everything that she's done for TV.
I mean, she has done so much for TV, you guys. It's insane. And as I was doing my research, I was like, wow, she built the entertainment of my childhood.
Wow.
In a huge way. And the whole time, and we'll get to it, I had to be like, don't make this a Crossroads episode. Don't make this Crossroads. But we could.
But we could and we should, in a way.
What's a great place to start, you guys? I'm so excited to talk about Shonda. So shall we just get into it?
Let's get into it.
Okay, Tess. Shonda Rhimes didn't just become successful in television. She completely rewrote who television was for. She built an empire around emotionally complicated women, morally messy characters, and power dynamics that Hollywood had avoided for decades. And she did it while quietly becoming one of the most powerful women in entertainment.
And the richest.
No, it's crazy.
My God, the money. I mean, she deserves it, but it's a lot of money.
And we'll be talking about that cash later on, so don't you worry.
Good. A little motivation for everybody.
So Tess, to start off, one of the most powerful women in the entertainment industry. She's working. Can you guess her sign?
Virgo.
Close.
Capricorn.
That's right, Tess.
Okay, we're
But
back.
thank you for the Virgo.
Of course.
Well, we knew it was an earth sign.
Oh, it has to be.
Tell me astrology isn't real that Shonda Rhimes is a Capricorn.
Yeah, she is, isn't she?
She's such a Capricorn. So Shonda Rhimes was born on January 13th, 1970 in Chicago, Illinois. She is the youngest of 6 children.
Wow.
So talk about little sibling energy.
Is she this? Oh my God.
She's the youngest of 6. Imagine.
Okay, I'm interested to see how that plays out in her life.
Because sometimes little sibling energy, for Tess and myself, it showed up in a way that we could not shut the fuck up and had to be the center of attention.
Of course.
For Shonda, it showed up in the way of I'm going to be kind of by myself and observant and not quite be the center of attention.
But then it can also be but look, I'm going to do some shit in the future and it's because of that.
Of
you know
course,
what I mean?
Because I've been watching.
Exactly, Tess.
So her mother, Vera, was a college professor who earned her PhD while raising the family. Women can do it all.
Oh my God. Women's History Month.
Women's History Month. And her father was a university administrator that later became the chief information officer at the University of Southern California.
It's a little smarty pants all around.
Such an academic family.
Mm-hmm.
Shonda was very shy, introverted, and observant. She was deeply imaginative. And her parents knew that she was kind of an unusual kid, but they really encouraged that.
Oh, good.
Yeah. And so as a kid, which I relate to, she loved making up stories. Did you ever bring a troomer perhaps to school?
Claire.
Please.
Not even a troomer. I was bringing rumors to school. I was just I want to see people fight.
Yes.
Truly.
Do you have an example?
I just thought of one. It's
dark.
It's a little dark, actually. Sometimes when we're doing this podcast, I'm like, huh. I have a That's So Raven moment. I'm like, I was a dark kid.
I know.
We'll talk
same.
offline, but do you?
One time I told the kids at my school, so the Proud Family?
Yes.
So the Sugar Mama, one of the characters, had a song, and so I told everyone in my class that I wrote that song.
Well, that's iconic.
Well,
and that's very innocent. Not like me, where I was trying to ruin people's lives, people's families' lives.
With gut range.
It wasn't that, but
Yeah, well, Shonda very much had that energy, and she was constantly making up stories, and she would play in the pantry at home and take all the cans and like make characters out of them and story arcs. And then when her mom was like, Shonda, it's time to like do anything else, she'd be like, well, who do I have to kill off? No.
What? Well, there's always a fine line between a kid with like mental illness as a child versus just being like a theater kid. And I would really go back and forth between that line.
It is quite a fine line.
It is.
And so she would spend most of her childhood reading and writing stories, but she didn't really see herself as someone who belonged in Hollywood. Well, first of all, her family is so academic.
Yeah.
And second, Hollywood wasn't designed for women like her. Black, introverted, intellectual, and not interested in performing likability.
That is for sure.
That is for sure. So she didn't really want to be famous, but she did know that she wanted control in her life. And there's that Capricorn energy. She was raised Catholic, went to a Catholic high school. And while she was in high school, she volunteered as a volunteer at a hospital.
Oh.
Clock that T, sis.
Really? For how long?
I think just like a couple months in high school.
But that can leave an impression, can't it?
It sure can. And it inspired her interest in like hospital culture, if you will.
Interesting.
So because she is so smart, she attended Dartmouth College.
Oh, she went to, wow. Love.
I just watched the pilot for Grey's Anatomy last night, and Meredith Grey is wearing a Dartmouth sweater in the beginning, a sweatshirt, and I just love that.
It's such a good pilot, isn't it?
It really is such a good pilot.
Perfectly done. One of like the best pilots, I think.
Yeah, and I will be binging it for sure now.
You didn't watch any of it.
No, I definitely did. We used to rush home in middle school and watch Grey's Anatomy, and we'd be like, I'm Izzy, I'm Meredith.
Of course, I always wanted to be Izzy.
But she was so beautiful.
And just so sweet.
Yeah, exactly.
The sensitive one, the one that like connects too much with their patients, and we see that character in a lot of different medical shows, don't we?
Yeah, we do. Yeah, we do. And she got to hook up with Alex.
Oh my God, he was so hot season 1. Kind of goes downhill a little bit, but his Raz was razzing that first season.
It really was. When he came on screen, I was even like, whoa.
That was a sexual awakening. He was a sexual awakening, actually.
For sure. For a middle school girl, it was
Definitely.
like, whoa, why doesn't my doctor look like that? Yeah.
And that is the heartbreak we'll always experience after Grey's Anatomy.
So she went to Dartmouth. She joined the Black Underground Theater Association, theater kid. She divided her time between directing and performing in student productions and writing fiction. And she also wrote for the college newspaper.
Cute.
And of course, she graduated at the top of her class. So after college, she goes through something that I think a lot of people could relate to. She was like, I cannot leave this place. I don't know what I want to do with my life. I never want college to end. She said that when her mom came to pack up her stuff to move, she just laid on the floor and sobbed.
Wait, what'd she major in again?
She majored in English literature and creative writing.
Hot.
Yeah.
So she was sobbing, not wanting to leave college, or
Not
like,
wanting to leave college.
Yeah, I mean, change is hard, my God, especially for the earth signs.
Exactly, Tess.
Wow.
Exactly. And she was just like, I have no idea what I really want to do with my life. She knew that she wanted to write, and she wanted to be a novelist. Like, she always references Toni Morrison, which we definitely need to cover her for RAM.
Yeah.
However, that option just didn't feel realistic to her as a career. So she ends up relocating to San Francisco. She worked in advertising briefly, but she hated it. So she took a big risk, and she ends up moving to Los Angeles to attend the University of Southern California and majored in screenwriting, or studied in screenwriting.
Oh, so she did grad school at USC?
She did grad school at USC.
A good program that's so hard to get into.
I know. And while she's at USC, she was hired to be an intern for Deborah Martin Chase. And I was like, I know that name.
Yeah, wait, same?
So Tess, Deborah Martin Chase was the first Black female producer to have a deal at any major studio, which is crazy because this is the
year?
90s.
Oh my God, yeah.
She is also one of the first Black filmmakers to produce a film that grossed over $100 million. And do you know what that film was?
What year again is this movie?
This is later on she will do this. This is early 2000s though.
100 million.
The Princess Diaries. Like, I'm getting emotional.
Wow.
So that's not all that Deborah Martin Chase has produced, okay? So we have The Princess Diaries. She also did Cinderella with Whitney Houston and Brandy.
Impossible.
Don't even get me started right now.
Guys, if you have not watched, I'm sure a lot of our Rammies don't even know what that is.
Oh, come on. Gen Z Rammies, please tell me.
Do the work. Brandy, Cinderella, Whitney Houston. Just go look it up.
Just do that now. Whoopi Goldberg is
I'm so sorry.
the mom.
Bernadette Peters.
Exactly, you guys. It is a masterpiece.
Have a good weekend and just watch that.
You can thank us later. So we have Cinderella. We have The Princess Diaries. She produced The Cheetah Girls.
Oh my. We should do an episode on this woman.
I know. And to round it out, Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants.
Holy shit. Wait. Didn't Shonda do a sequel to one of those movies? Didn't she write a sequel to one of them?
She sure did, Tess. She sure did. And we are getting to that. So she studied under Deborah Martin Chase. Obviously, Deborah has a huge impact on Shonda and her career. Shonda ranked at the top of her class at USC as well, and she graduated with an MFA in screenwriting in 1994.
Damn.
So, you know, she must be thinking, like, I just had a great internship. I'm screenwriting at USC. Life is going to be easy. No, it was not. Her career was not glamorous early on. She spent years unemployed, struggling financially, writing scripts that went nowhere. She was living in her sister's basement at one point. And so she was so anxious about the future and like not knowing where to go with her writing that she took the role of a receptionist at an advertising agency. And while she was there, she got the shot to write copy for a Barbie Tess script. And so she writes it and everyone was like, wait, this is so good. We choose your script. And Shonda ended up doing the voiceover for the Tess script and all of that. And since they picked her script, this really gave Shonda the motivation to be like, wait, I actually have something here and I actually am a great writer. So I really should keep pursuing this. And she also said that she was so miserable at this receptionist job that writing was like the only thing that kept her sane. Every night she went home and she wrote and she thought, if I don't write, then I'm literally doing nothing with my life. And so she wrote like crazy to get out of the situation.
Wow.
Which is so hard because like, listen, we have had so many day jobs.
Yeah.
And you're so exhausted from your day job, like that by the time you get home, I can't imagine being like, and now I'm going to write a script.
Oh my God. I was truly just thinking that. That is the hardest part of being in like a working artist in LA because like during the day you're miserable.
Yes.
And you're kind of like, you're disappointed. You're not like, I don't know. It's a discouraging city in a lot of ways. And like, you're not really getting a lot of yeses and you're not like, people aren't really telling you like, by the way, like you're going to be big.
Yes, exactly.
It's like the opposite.
I know. So I don't know how she found the strength to just keep going.
I mean, she loves it. Like,
and there it is, Tess. And there it is. So thank God she did keep writing because her first big break is on the way. So HBO was developing a biopic about Dorothy Dandridge, which we also need to do a random episode on her because she was the first Black woman nominated for Best Actress at the Oscars. So the project was being produced by Halle Berry, and Halle Berry really wanted to tell Dorothy's story correctly. And at the time, there were very few Black female screenwriters in Hollywood. So Shonda was still really early in her career, but she did have something that executives noticed. Her writing was emotionally precise, character-driven, and she understood women's psychology, and that made her stand out.
Wow.
They were like, wait, women have depth and this woman can write about it?
Dorothy Dandridge was nominated for Best Supporting Actress, right?
Best Lead Actress.
Best Lead Actress, but did she win and she wasn't allowed to go up there?
No, you're thinking of Hattie McDaniel.
Yes. Okay, so she wasn't allowed to give an acceptance speech.
She had to sit in a different room.
That's right.
Hattie McDaniels was the first Black actor, I think, overall to win an Oscar.
Okay, yes.
Yeah, and so Dorothy Dandridge was the first Black woman to be nominated for Best Actress.
Got it.
Because Hattie was Best Supporting.
That's right.
So they read one of Shonda's scripts, they loved it, and she was hired, and she wrote the HBO film introducing Dorothy Dandridge in 1999, which I haven't even heard of this movie.
I wonder if it's still on HBO.
I'm sure it is.
Yeah.
Because it was critically acclaimed, and Halle Berry won Best Lead Actress at the Golden Globes and at the Emmys. And the film itself won multiple awards. So I'm sure it's still on there.
Yeah.
And so from this film, Shonda has the credibility that she needs to move forward. So her next move is that she writes one of the most important films of our lifetime, the 2002 masterpiece, Crossroads, the debut film of Britney Jean Spears.
I mean, what a film.
I think so many people are shook to find out that Shonda Rhimes wrote this.
But it's like it's such good writing.
It is, and like it makes sense when you think about it because the story is female driven and like complicated women. And it's just so good.
You know that I didn't see it for the first time until like 3 years ago.
You saw it at Cinespia, right?
No, I saw it. It was it like came out in theaters again.
You saw it in theaters?
And Victoria and I saw it at, I want to say, the Grove.
Yes, where was I?
I don't know. I think you were busy.
I can't believe I did not clear my calendar for
It
that.
was amazing to see it for the first time with a group of women screaming, singing, laughing, clapping, just like honoring Britney. It was like really beautiful.
That's something that movie theaters need to continue to do, especially to get people back in the theaters, is release all these great films.
I mean, it's the only way that theaters are going to be able to stay open.
I know.
And I mean, in LA, there's one like every week. There's a re-release of something.
I know.
It's been so fun.
I am waiting for that Sofia Coppola Marie Antoinette re-release this year. You guys know we want to do a partnership.
100%. It's going to be in October, right?
I think so. So, anyways, Crossroads, huge. I watched it so much as a kid. I mean,
You're like, this is my story. Like just a small town girl living in a lonely world,
looking for one of her parents. Going. Yeah, I felt connected a little bit. It was so good. I mean, it gave us I'm Not a Girl, Not Yet a Woman.
It gave us so much.
It gave us Britney's cover of I Love Rock and Roll.
You know, one of my favorite parts of that movie?
What?
Is when they're singing the Sheryl Crow song. Is it If It Makes You Happy?
Yes, it is.
Guys, is there a better song than that song?
I was actually blasting Sheryl Crow with the windows down. Yesterday.
Just always hits.
It's always
And she's a good
hits.
person still to this day.
Liberal queen.
Thank God.
Thank God. And she had to deal with Lance Armstrong. So, but this isn't a Sheryl Crow episode,
No.
But it could be.
But it could be. But yeah, what a great movie.
Such a great movie. So how did this come about? I was like, okay, don't make the whole episode about this, but I do feel like we need to honor it.
We need some behind the scenes.
Exactly. So producer Ann Carley was formerly in the music industry. She worked at Jive Records, which was Britney's record label.
That's right.
Also NSYNC,
Very
Backstreet
early
Boys.
2000s.
Yes. So she had read some of Shonda's scripts and she said that she was shook by how good they were, but no studios were giving them the green light. Like no one would make Shonda scripts. So Anne reads Shonda scripts and it's like, we got to get you working. What if you wrote a film for Britney Spears?
Oh my God, specifically for her? The pressure?
Can you imagine?
I'd be like, I can't.
No, me, same.
Wow.
So Clive Calder was the founder of Jive Records, and he agreed to fund the entire film for $10 million if Britney said yes.
Well, this is like the biggest that she ever was, right? This is like 99?
This was 2002.
Oh my God. Okay.
So major.
Yeah.
So he's like, yeah, I will give you $10 million, which is a low budget for a movie.
Especially
even back then.
With Britney, I wonder how much she got paid.
Well, exactly. It's like, I feel like the whole budget had to go to Britney.
But I think she was like, I really want to act. But
She
she
was.
probably took like at least $5 million of that.
I mean, crazy.
Yeah.
So he was like, if she says yes, I will fund it. And Britney's whole team was really excited about transitioning to film. So it was all a go. And while Britney toured, Shonda wrote.
Wow.
I know. So Shonda, as we will see throughout her whole career, was determined to show the real person behind the pop star image, not the caricature our misogynistic society had turned her into, but a complex young woman with agency and control over her own story.
Talk about it.
Talk about it. Shonda said, the idea that we could portray her as a three-dimensional young woman was interesting to me. To have mean girled her and turned her into a caricature would have been a mistake.
At least someone did this for her.
No.
Like, is she the only person that's ever done this for her creatively?
Probably. Well, although I will say, Britney, listen to our Britney Spears episode, when she was making that album Blackout, I think those producers really encouraged her to be herself.
A great album.
One of the best. One of the best. So it's important for Shonda to show people from diverse backgrounds, and the film features some surprisingly heavy topics: teen pregnancy, parental abandonment.
Right.
Okay, the plot of Crossroads, if you don't know, which I'm sure now you're like, I have to see this movie because it sounds
Guys,
amazing.
Do yourself a favor.
It follows three childhood friends who reunite after drifting apart. We have Lucy, Britney Spears, Kit, Zoe Saldana, and Mimi, Taryn Manning. And after graduating high school, they dig up their time capsule that they buried as kids and impulsively decide to take a road trip from Georgia to Los Angeles. And Lucy also hopes to meet the mother who abandoned her, who is Kim Cattrall.
Can you even create a recipe that is so early 2000s yummy perfection?
It's perfection. And then along the way, they travel with Ben, a mysterious guy trying to get to LA for an audition.
Hot.
The trip becomes a coming-of-age journey where each girl confronts secrets, relationships, and the realities of adulthood. It's just the perfect movie for girlhood.
It's so feel good.
It is.
Oh, now I want to watch it again.
But it is quite intense, like with the teen pregnancy
No,
and all
for
and
sure.
stuff. But Tess, speaking of girlhood, and because it's Shonda, They had a female director. And when it came to the crew, they hired so many women to work the film crew that a reporter asked if she was trying to make a political statement.
Oh my God.
They're like, wait, there's so many women here.
Opposed to every other film set, which is 99% men. Like, ugh.
Exactly.
The energy is strong and not fun.
No.
Like,
No.
to be completely honest.
So it's so refreshing to see the story about girlhood and
Yeah.
have women be making it. And they were like, no, we didn't make a political statement. We just hired the best people for this particular job. And the predominantly female set created the calm and nurturing tone that is reflected in the film.
Oh, you can just tell.
You really can. The film opened on February 15th, 2002. And remember, the budget was $10 million. Opening weekend, it made $14 million.
Wow.
In total, Crossroads earned its budget. I'm just laughing because it is like a Crossroads episode. In total, Crossroads earned its budget back 5 times over, bringing in $61 million.
That is incredible.
Despite the strong numbers, the movie was panned by critics and nominated for 8 Razzies.
And I wonder what it has on Rotten Tomatoes.
I'm disgusted with Rotten Tomatoes.
Don't ever look up, like something I've learned recently, don't look up movie reviews.
No.
Because they're mostly by men that are trying to tell women that your taste sucks and don't go see it, which hurts female film directors. So, like, stop looking at reviews.
Holy shit, Tess. That's so
Wow,
right.
thank you. I'm like, but like, fuck, like,
Uptown Girls.
exactly.
Uptown Girls, I think, has a 14% on Rotten Tomatoes.
But it's just so, of course, from male critics, they'd be like, that's so stupid. And like, what's good about this movie? And it's like, you know what? Everything is good about that movie.
Everything.
And same with Crossroads.
Well, exactly. Most who worked on the film seemed not to care about the opinions of old white men. Quote, girls really liked it. If you were a teenage girl at the time, that movie was really, really relatable in a fantasy-ish kind of way. Sometimes you make movies for different audiences, and this one hit the core of what it was trying to do.
And you know who makes the economy flourish?
Women.
And especially young women. There is nothing like a teenager wanting to spend some money on something that she could see herself in.
No, literally. Yeah.
So anyway.
Anyways, God, I'm like hot.
I'm a little hot. Well, it's hot in here today.
It's hot. It is hot in here
Blazer
today.
was a bad choice. Do
what you gotta do, Tess.
Thank you.
You're welcome, YouTube.
I actually just have to, really.
So Crossroads, huge hit. Also, after Crossroads, she writes Princess Diaries 2.
Princess Diaries 2, you know, it's hard.
Oh.
It's hard to make a sequel.
It is.
It's hard. Didn't love Princess Diaries 2, but it's like, it's so, how can you know?
I don't know if I've ever even seen it all the way through. And I know, like, I put on our close friends. If you're a premium member, you get to be on our close friends on Instagram that I was doing Shonda Rhimes. And we did have a few Rammies being like, Princess Diaries 2. So I know it means a lot to you guys.
I think it was maybe almost like for a little bit more Gen Z.
Yes.
So I support it, but it wasn't for me personally.
So we've got Crossroads. We've got Princess Diaries 2.
Rom-com queen.
By her early 30s, by the way. Crazy. Around this time, she is a new mom. We're going to be talking about her personal life later. She adopted a daughter. She's a new mom, so she wasn't leaving her house much. She was spending a lot of time at home. And so she started to watch a lot of television. Like Buffy the Vampire Slayer was a huge one for her.
Love.
And she was like, wait, TV is where you can actually do like real character development. Like movies, you only get 2 hours. TV, you get full seasons. So she gets excited and she tells her agents, I want to write for TV. And her agents were like, what are you talking about?
Isn't it so funny that TV used to be trash?
Here's the thing, you guys. You have to know, before streaming, before all of that, like TV was lowbrow.
And there were like big famous actors who were like Oscar actors. They would never consider taking a role in television. And now they're begging for it.
Exactly. Never TV and never a commercial.
No, like Nicole Kidman would have never done like
AMC?
AMC. I mean, that's a whole other story. And we do not have the time.
Yes.
But, you know, isn't that funny?
Yeah, so they were like, you can't be serious. Like, you want to do TV? But she did. So she writes a pilot about war correspondence. It was 4 women who were super competitive and covered wars. But this was post 9/11.
And they're like, do not touch that.
We do not touch.
People are still too sensitive and too traumatized.
Oh my God. Post 9/11 media. It was like so patriotic. We don't talk about like the war unless it is like America all the way.
You guys, it was unlike anything you've ever seen.
We actually talk a lot about it in our episode on the chicks of like post 9/11 media.
I have no words.
No, I mean, the American flag has never been the same.
I mean, the Disney Channel. The Disney Channel of Hilary Duff and Who else was on How Do You Feel About 9/11?
Tia and Tamara, like, how did they deal with it?
They were like, you gotta talk to your friends about how you're feeling. And then all the kids were just waving the American flag.
I miss those days, honestly.
Same.
And you'd just be like sitting there eating so many snacks. And
you're just like, yeah, like, I guess we should be.
Yeah.
Or if you lived in our household, it was like, no.
It was like, fuck Bush.
It was like, we cannot do anything Bush says.
Same.
But you know.
Same. But, okay, so she writes this. So she writes this war correspondent pilot. They're like, that's insensitive. It's in poor taste. We can't do that. So she's like, okay, fine. What does Bob Iger want? Because at the time, Bob Iger was the head of Disney, head of ABC, all of that. And they were like, well, he wants a medical show. And Shonda was like, I love medical shows. I can do that. And at this time, she was even thinking about leaving Hollywood to go to medical school.
Damn. Look, we all get there at some point. We all have that thought for a night or two after you're watching The Pit in 2 days and finish a season. You know, you think, what would I be like as a doctor?
No, I totally know. I actually can't watch The Pit without covering my eyes the whole time, but it's the rush.
It is the rush. You're like, how would I do my hair every day to look like I don't care, but I do care.
No, of
you
course.
Know what I mean?
Yeah. Do you think you do like a claw clip?
Or just like a little, like, kind of like messy, like lower bun.
I love that.
And like having like little pieces out like that.
I love that.
In Figs.
Well, of course in Figs.
Figs has made everyone want to be a doctor.
I know.
Like, what great branding.
Because it's so, like, sexy.
It is.
Yeah, Sugar and Bronze girlies are wearing Figs
You
now.
guys, we see them. You guys are looking good in those, those
them.
outfits.
Yeah, exactly. So Shonda was also about this medical life.
Yep.
So she was like, this is perfect for me. Now, at the time, we had ER, which is a lot like The Pit. So it's high-speed medicine. The camera flies around, like adrenaline is rushing. But Shonda wanted her show to be more personal and more about relationships. She met a medical resident who told her that it was really hard to shave her legs in the showers that they had for them at hospitals. And that created a whole picture in Shonda's head of what it was like to be a woman trying to be a surgeon and trying to have a personal life at the same time.
I have full body chills. Isn't it crazy how someone can say one thing to you and you're like, I have an entire plot for a series. Thank you for that.
For the longest running medical show of all time. From a woman saying she couldn't shave her legs.
And then you get the character, like everything must have just come to her. That is so cool.
I feel like that's going to be good for your writing heart, Tess.
Wow, I really have the chills.
I know. And speaking of all of that, it was very important to her to show real women's stories. She said, I wanted to create a world in which you felt as if you were watching very real women. Most of the women I saw on TV didn't seem like people I actually knew. They felt like ideas of what women were. They never got to be nasty or competitive or hungry or angry. They were often just the loving wife or the nice friend. But who gets to be the bitch? Who gets to be the three-dimensional woman?
And like, I think Grey's Anatomy doesn't really have that, like, and this is not meant to be an insult, but like Meredith Grey is not this like sexy, hot woman. Like, she's a little bit of a plain Jane. Like, she's unconventionally pretty.
I really thought that when I was younger.
Right?
But then I watched the pilot last night, and I mean, Ellen Pompeo, like, she is quite striking, but I think that we just never seen a leading woman like her.
That's
like,
true.
I feel like Katherine Heigl was more of the blonde,
yes,
like, perfect kind of look.
Yes, and maybe I have to rewatch
You
it
will.
to kind of be like, wait, how do I feel about her now? Because I had a lot of feelings in like 8th grade about this character.
But, well, the character herself, Meredith Grey, is so complicated. She's not likable in the traditional sense. She was depressed. She was guarded. She was complicated.
Yep.
She was like us.
Well, I remember,
I
like,
say us as women.
I mean, truly,
But
like all
also
of us. I remember being really like, there were certain decisions that she made that I thought in my teenage years were unforgivable as a woman.
Right. Of course, because you're a girl and you don't realize well, first of all, you don't see examples of that in media.
Exactly.
And you haven't lived it yet.
Exactly. I was like, how could she?
So Shonda wanted to show female ambition, female sexuality, female friendship, women who were brilliant and selfish and emotionally flawed. So the real story isn't just how big Grey's became, it's what Shonda was doing inside the show, rewriting what women were allowed to be on television. She wrote women who didn't want motherhood, but weren't framed as broken for not wanting motherhood. Christina openly said, I don't want kids, and the show did not fix her. She wasn't secretly maternal. She didn't change her mind. She didn't get rewritten into a softer version of herself.
Also, really quickly, because I forgot to mention this before, it kind of made female friendship cool.
You're my person.
You're my person. Like, wasn't it? People were like, whoa, friends can like be soulmates. Like, girlfriends have that feeling with each other. And people are like, it never been really talked about on TV.
Right. And it was also like, Shonda wrote these female friendships in a way where it's like they were still competing with each other.
Yes.
And like encouraging each other and calling each other out for things.
But they
like
weren't like mean girls to each other.
Not at all. Women competing with each other without being villains. Before Grey's, female competition on TV was often framed as catty or villainous, but Grey's made it about ambition. Women could want power and that could be okay.
Wow.
Like what a concept.
And that's every woman on that show.
Yes.
I
exactly.
mean, Sandra Oh is like my favorite character on it.
Watching her in the pilot, what a phenomenal actress.
Princess Diaries, Gupta.
She's in that.
Gupta. The Queen is coming to Grove High School.
Stunning. Stunning work, Tess.
Gupta, I love her.
Well, speaking of the casting, Shonda implemented what she called a colorblind approach to casting. She wanted to select the best actors regardless of race, which led to, at the time, an unprecedented diverse cast, including multiple Black doctors and positions of authority.
Yeah.
And she had to really fight for that because the ABC president fought back with her on that. And she said, I will not have an all-white show.
So, oh my God, to fight back about that is the most losery thing. Like, truly, get good actors. Every actor, every actor in that show is really good. I feel like there's always one person I was like, you could work on your acting a little bit. I'm like, who was that?
We have notes for you.
Yeah.
Everyone was it Alex?
Oh, God, I was just so blinded by Alex.
I know. It's like, who even cares what he's saying?
I don't feel like this anymore, but I remember having a little bit of like that Addison sometimes. I was like, I feel like I want you to go deeper. When I was like 12. Fit in like a play, and I was like, I don't know.
I'm just not sure.
But now I'm like obsessed with Addison.
It was one of the first major ensemble casts on network television that looked like an actual workplace. Yeah, so really, really great. So we have the casting, we have the script, and Grey's Anatomy premiered on ABC on March 27th, 2005, and it became an immediate hit.
I can hear the theme song right now, and it like would put me to sleep.
Well, speaking of the theme song, Tess, songs featured in emotional scenes would shoot up on the charts overnight. It was something that people called the Grey's bump. So it's like if your song was on Grey's Anatomy, it would be life-changing.
I mean, how to save a life. How to save a motherfucking life.
Thank you for taking it there, Tess. But also, chasing cars. So I have a personal story from chasing cars.
Please.
So we were in middle school, and this was when we started having parties with boys. This is when we started like having boyfriends, I say in quotes. And one of my friends at the time was having her birthday party, and her boyfriend was invited. And we were like, we are going to play Chasing Cars in the car on the way home, and that's going to be your song. And we're going to cue it up perfectly. And it came on, and he held her hand, and we all were just like looking out the window, just being like,
that's so sweet. How old
happening.
were you guys?
Like 13.
Okay. Oh, that's like boyfriend age. For some reason, I was imagining like
or 12.
Okay. Well,
yeah, we were, listen, as soon as I could, I was talking to boys, okay?
For sure.
Yeah, I wanted a boyfriend fast.
Oh my God. And then, like, also like watching this show, you're like, I want to be in love, and I want that rush, and I want like that crazy relationship.
Exactly.
Because there were so many toxic relationships on Grey's.
So many. Well, that was like something that Shonda wanted to show. She wanted to show like women having one night stands and all of that. But yeah, Chasing Cars, I'll still think of that sweet couple.
I asked my piano teacher at the time if I could learn how to save a life, and then I tried to sing it and record it once. I do not have much of a voice, you know.
Do you have the tapes?
No, I don't. They're somewhere, but
really?
They're not with me. Yeah, no, I would. You know, I would show. I'd show
Dave
you guys
has
at this point. But yeah, I could play that on the piano for a little bit.
How to Save a Life and Chasing Cars it was huge.
God, I think this is when YouTube also was starting, and I would just watch fan edits and be like, I love them.
Same. Also, TV was popping off in a huge way. The year that Grey's Anatomy came out was the same year that Lost and Desperate Housewives came out.
What a great time for television.
It was like kind of the golden age of TV like network television. It was the golden age of network television.
Lost was on Sunday nights.
I never watched
Oh my
Lost.
God, Lost is so good. Also one of the best pilots ever made. Even like just watch the pilot.
That's J.J. Abrams, right? And that was also on forever.
Oh my God, it was on for a little bit too long, I think, but that's always a controversial thing. So people were like, they needed it. They needed the shit. And I'm like, it could have been 4 seasons, and it got crazy.
We have lost the art of like keeping it tight.
100%.
Yeah.
Grey's Anatomy was on Thursday nights.
Grey's Anatomy was on Thursday nights because we would go get pizza and then we would run home and watch it on TiVo.
Was Desperate Housewives on Tuesday nights?
I think it was on Sunday nights.
Oh, was it also Sunday on ABC?
Maybe it was Tuesdays.
God, I don't know.
Ramey's let us know. Comment on our carousel at Right Answers Mostly.
Please. Oh, I miss a Sunday show that you're looking forward to. What day of the week is The Pit on? Because I've been binging.
Thursdays. Like Grey's Anatomy.
The Pit's on Thursdays?
Yeah.
You know I love a Thursday. It just got better.
Is it Thursday today? No, it's Wednesday.
I kept thinking it was, though.
Oh, God damn it.
I know.
God damn it. It's just like it explodes. TV's going crazy. At its season 2 ratings height, the program drew an average audience of 20 million viewers.
That is actually crazy.
20 million people sitting their ass down to watch Grey's Anatomy.
That's crazy.
I know.
I feel like even popular shows, it's like 10 million.
I know.
You know?
20 million. Okay, do you remember some things on Grey's Anatomy, some cases?
Some cases. Addison having poison ivy
Oh,
always stands out to me.
I don't remember that one.
Even though she's not a patient because she peed.
Oh, yes.
Yes, like the poison ivy and it gets into...
That sounds familiar.
Gets on her vag.
Remember the girl who like had reconstructive face surgery?
Yes.
When we were talking about her and we saw her. She's also in The Family Stone.
Yes.
She plays kind of like the boring sister.
Yeah.
The one that sticks out to me the most is the people who have the pole connecting them.
Well, but of course.
And
what song plays?
What song does
What
play?
song plays when they're like being torn apart from each other? What is it?
Because it's like one of them has to be sacrificed.
Yes.
And my dream is that Tess and I play those two characters on the pit. So like we have a pole between us on the pit.
Please, if you have any connections to the pit, we would love to be sisters.
We want to be impaled on a pole in the pit.
Or what if we were conjoined twins too?
Oh my God, I would love that. See, we're workshopping.
We're workshopping. I mean, the thing that stands out to me the most is always Izzy and Denny.
Yes.
Because I've never done a rewatch, but that to me, I think that was the first time I remember sobbing on a TV show.
Is that Chasing Cars or is that How to Save a Life? I think that's How to Save a Life.
I thought it was Chasing
I mean, no, you're right. It's
Cars.
Chasing Cars.
Right? Because she's up there in her ball gown.
It's not okay.
Oh my God, she was such a good actress. I mean, oh my God, we could talk so long about
I know,
all the
I know.
shit that Katherine Heigl went through.
We're not going to talk about that.
You guys, her taking herself out of the Emmy nomination.
Exactly. Well, I think that created some beef with Shonda.
Well, she was blacklisted from Hollywood after, so God, she really did pay for that, even though she did not deserve it.
No, I know. It's crazy. But like, even when you hear Katherine Heigl, you're like, oh, she's
What a bitch.
Exactly.
Early 2000s were a different time.
They
We
were
were talking about last week. It was just a crazy time for women.
It really was. But speaking of crazy times and like for women and what we were seeing on Grey's Anatomy, there were lots of controversies that Shonda had to go up against when writing Grey's Anatomy. Tess, the network said they were using the word vagina too much.
On a medical show?
Exactly right. Shonda Rhimes said, I kept saying, it's a medical show. We can't say vagina, but we can say penis a million times in an episode. In one of our first shows, we used the word penis about 32 times. But when we said vagina twice, the broadcast standards people blinked. We fought them and we won.
It's truly a joke.
Yes, isn't that crazy? They literally said penis 32 times. They said vagina twice, and the network people were like, you're saying it too much.
Also, doesn't Addison work in, like, she's a gynecologist?
Right.
So, like, that's going to be a thing every episode.
Right. Well, it's like men want vagina unless when it's talked about like medically and not in like a sexy way. You know what I mean?
Oh my God.
So that was something that they had to go up against
sure.
on a medical show. And a major moment in season 7 is that Christina has an abortion.
That's right. I was thinking that she did. I couldn't remember.
Yes, it's a huge cultural moment. So in season 1, Christina Yang becomes pregnant after sleeping with her attending surgeon, Preston Burke. And Christina is very clear about something immediately. She does not want a baby. So the original plan for the storyline in season 1 is that Christina would have an abortion, but the network came to Shonda and they were like, I don't know about this. Like, I think you're pushing it way too hard. I don't think you should do it. And because this is, by the way, Shonda Rhimes, Grey's Anatomy is her first show ever.
Wild.
She had done 3 movies and this is her first show.
Wild.
So she gets really scared and she changes it to an ectopic pregnancy.
I remember hearing about this. I mean,
it was 2005.
yeah, totally. It was such a different time, but it's just like, wow, like they have to be like, this horrible thing happens to her instead of her making her own choice.
Exactly, Tess. It's like we can't show her deciding not to be a mother.
Yes.
Like it has to be this tragic, horrible thing.
Oh my God, yeah.
So then years later, when Shonda had much more power at ABC, the show revisited the storyline. Christina was now married to Owen Hunt. She becomes pregnant again. And once again, she says very clearly she does not want children. And this time the show does not redirect the story. Christina chose to have an abortion. And I think that's also such an amazing thing for Shonda to show of like, even a married woman can still decide, I don't want kids. My priority in my life is my career.
Like an abortion on TV doesn't always have to be a teenager who is fighting, kind of like on The Pit, which is like, I love The Pit, but like the 17-year-old who's fighting with her mom, and like it can just be it's healthcare, so it can be a grown woman be like, no, I'm good.
Exactly, it's healthcare. So those were huge things that were being shown on television that had never really been shown before. Grey's Anatomy went on to become the longest running primetime medical drama in TV history, outlasting MASH and ER, the previous record holders.
Wild.
So once Shonda proved she could dominate network television, she didn't slow down. Her next show would push even more boundaries. Shonda Rhimes had conquered the hospital. Next, she was coming for Washington.
Hot.
And we are going to take a little break here, but when we come back, we're going to talk about Scandal, honey.
Thank God.
Thank God. Okay, and we are back. Tess, are you ready to talk about Fitz?
You know I am. I've been waiting this whole episode.
So Shonda had heard about this woman, Judy Smith. And Judy was a Washington crisis management expert. She was a person that was called when powerful people got into serious trouble. So Shonda hears about Judy and she's like, wait, there are people whose job is literally to fix scandals of powerful people. I have to write a show about this.
Genius.
Genius.
It hadn't been done before, which is crazy.
I know.
Like, what a fun idea. So fun. And once you're in, you're in. I don't think I watched the last season, but I think I watched 4 seasons of it.
My mom is obsessed.
It was like my entire personality in college. That and Alias, I was like, I'm so cultured.
So Tess, Olivia Pope, played by Kerry Washington, became the first Black female lead in any network drama in nearly 40 years.
Who was before?
It was a show called Get Christy Love.
In like the 1920s?
1974.
What?
That was the last time that we had a Black female lead in a network drama.
Wild.
Isn't that wild? So Shonda said that when it came to Kerry Washington, networks had reportedly claimed Black women can't lead a network drama. But Scandal proved them wrong.
I grow tired. No kidding. It's like the most popular show ever.
Ever. And like one of the most popular characters of all time.
Literally. Iconic.
That wasn't the only pushback that Scandal would get. So the network pushed back big time on Olivia Pope having an abortion.
I do. Yes. I remember hearing about this too.
Yeah. So when she, like we said before, when she first wrote for Christina, she would go back and forth. But when she was writing it for Olivia Pope, she knew it was so right for this character. It wasn't even a question. Like in Olivia Pope's story, she would be having an abortion. And you might hear this and be like, why is Shonda Rhimes writing so many abortions? And it's like, because she's writing so many women's stories.
Yeah.
And that is a part of so many women's stories. And it's just not talked about because it's not seen on television. Like,
totally. It's not a rare thing. Do you remember what season she gets an abortion?
I don't know what season it is.
Also, it's a very popular thing for presidents that are having affairs to make women get abortions.
Exactly.
Listen to our Kennedy's month and JFK.
And something that was very important to her, speaking of that, is that when she was writing Olivia's abortion, so much of the feedback that she got was like, but Fitz is going to be so upset when he finds out about it. And Shonda was like, that's not what the story is about. The story's not about him.
It's about her.
Exactly.
And what she wants.
And her experience. So the network really had a problem with Olivia Pope having an abortion. But Shonda had learned something from her previous writing, and she had learned something from writing sex scenes, actually. They would come to her and say, we're worried about this Olivia and Fitz sex scene. But Shonda would say, we shot the exact same sex scene shot for shot with Meredith and Derek from Grey's. So your problem isn't with the scene. It's with the people.
It's 'cause they're interracial, and it seems more raunchy if it's interracial.
Exactly. Same thing with How to Get Away with Murder. There was 2 men, and Shonda would say, but I wrote the same scene for Meredith and Derek, and you guys didn't have a problem with it. So again, it's not the scene, it's the people.
Exactly.
So with Olivia Pope's abortion, it was the same scene as the ectopic pregnancy in Grey's Anatomy with Christina. So she was like, again, then it's not the abortion.
Yeah.
It's the way that we're going, who's doing it, the way we're going about it, because it's going to be shot for shot.
Yeah.
And something that I love with Shonda writing an abortion scene for Olivia Pope is that she said she wanted it to be someone you knew, admired, and loved, because she knew that a lot of the viewers spent more time with her characters than they do with the people in their lives. And she wanted someone that people knew and loved to be going through this, and for it not to be an abortion episode, but just something that she was going through.
Just like a decision that she made during her day.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because again, abortion is healthcare.
Yeah. Wow. It's amazing.
I know. We need more women in film.
No kidding. Because then it just makes it so much less scary for other women going through that, and less scary to talk about, and less villainized and all of that. It's just like, just need to see more of it on TV. I can count like maybe 5 shows that I've watched that have had abortion stories.
Yes, exactly. And like what she's saying, she's like, I don't want it to be this abortion episode. And then she has to like struggle with her morality. It's like just.
She did it.
She did it. That was all major, and Scandal is obviously a huge hit. And in December 2013, ABC ordered a pilot for Shonda Rhimes' new series, How to Get Away with Murder, starring actress Viola Davis. And it was officially picked up and premiered in 2014. And thus, at her peak, Shonda Rhimes owned Thursday nights on ABC.
I never watched How to Get Away with Murder. Did you?
No, I never did, but I heard it's amazing.
I know people love it.
Well, people
of course,
love
because she's so
anything.
good. She's so good at everything.
She's so good at everything. And to own Thursday nights on ABC, they literally branded it TGIT. Thank God it's Thursday.
That is so chic to own a Thursday.
Tess, her shows ran back to back. It went Grey's Anatomy, Scandal, How to Get Away with Murder.
Good for her. It's wild.
A woman owning a network television night. Also, like Thursday at this time, again, this was like 2012, 2014.
Thursdays and Sundays.
That's what I was about to say, Tess. Those were the major nights.
Those are still my favorite nights to like watch a fun show.
Same.
You know?
To like look forward to it.
Yeah.
I agree. For our writers, I wanted to put this little section in for my writer right next to me. How is she writing all these shows?
How did she find the time? How did she stay motivated?
So something I thought was really interesting is that she doesn't believe in writer's block. She said that it's kind of a mind trick, and it's like the minute that you talk about it, it becomes real.
I feel like I agree kind of in a way.
She's like, yeah, if you say you have writer's block, well, then now you're stuck. She said there are days where you have stuff to say, and then there are days where you don't have as much stuff to say. But she doesn't believe in writer's block where you just can't write at all.
I think that's fair. I think also artists love to be like, have a thing that they can say that they're going through, you know, of like, right, like I have writer. Like, it's like all like, let's get dark and talk about our struggle with the art. And it's like, you can probably write anything at least. Also, you can write 2 pages. That's like what I've learned recently. It doesn't have to be a whole script.
Exactly.
Write a page.
And it doesn't have to be like, I think so many artists are like, it has to just be perfect or I can't write it at all.
You can go back and delete it.
Exactly.
Like, it's fine.
And Shonda would agree with you.
Wow.
And she was also really lucky because she said if she felt stuck on Grey's, then she could just go write on Scandal or How to Get Away with Murder. She's like, well, I have 3 other network television shows.
Did she write
right
every
now.
episode?
No, I don't think she was writing. I think probably in the I don't know.
Probably
even
the
about-
beginning, right?
Of like Grey's probably.
And then you have a writer's room.
Right, but she was like show running. Damn. You know, she was responsible. I think she had to say yes to all of the scripts.
Oof.
You know, it's crazy. And because she owns a network television night, you know, she is a major leader. She has so many good thoughts about being a leader and about women being leaders. And she said the biggest lesson that she learned early on is don't pretend you know something that you don't know.
Well, right answers mostly. Just ask the question, honey. There is a difference
Between being ditzy and being dumb. And what is that difference, Tess?
Ditzy is dumb is not knowing the answer.
It's like ditzy is not being afraid to ask.
Yes, it's based. Yeah,
You guys know
God,
what we're
Jessica
talking about.
Simpson. Listen to the episode. Completely. Yeah, butchered that. That was so perfect.
But she was saying that, like, say what you don't know how to do and then learn as much as you can and surround yourself with people who know what they're doing because people will respect you when you can recognize your strengths and weakness.
There's nothing hotter than being like, I've never heard that. Can you tell me? Or like, I've never been taught how to do that. Can you show me? It makes someone literally be like, you have the razz and the confidence.
Yes, because it's like, I know I'm not dumb, but if no one's ever told me, how would I know that?
And sometimes you are like, whoa, that was humbling.
I realized the other day that I am struggling with basic subtraction.
So am I, Claire.
Yeah.
But I'm always am.
Yep, same. That's nothing new.
And it's okay to count on your fingers, and it's okay to subtract on your fingers.
I agree. So she was like, ask the questions. It doesn't take away any of your power. And she made a really good point that like men will take any job and say that they're qualified, and women will be like, well, I'm not qualified. If I don't know everything about it, then I'm not qualified. And men are like, yeah, I'll do it. And she said that it's not that. It's not that you're not qualified. She said, I think you need to be very comfortable with who you are and your power, but also be enough of a leader to say, I can lead this, I can handle this, but I need someone to explain to me what this piece is versus I'm not qualified and someone else should take over.
Totally.
Shonda has also said, men brag and women hide. She said that it's so interesting to be in a room full of powerful women and watch how women cannot take compliments.
It's very hard.
When women receive a compliment, they try to downplay it or negate it because they try to make it okay for everyone else in the room.
Yes.
And so it's like women are afraid to be too much of ourselves because then they're afraid that people are going to be like, well, who does she think that she is?
100%. If it's like someone's like, oh, you look really pretty, you're like, no, well, I actually got no sleep because you don't want someone else to be like, wait, so
you
she
agree.
thinks that she's pretty.
You
It's
think you're really
crazy.
pretty.
It's disgusting.
But it's like if someone asks like, who does she think that she is? Well, who do you think that you are?
Exactly.
Yeah, because men are going to be up here being like,
Not
I
looking
can do
pretty
it.
and getting all the credit for it. Okay. So
Well, I love what she said. She goes, men do not have this problem. Men who have accomplished almost nothing are still bragging about stuff that's not even an accomplishment.
and stuff that happened like 20 years ago.
Like, hey, remember when we went state?
Literally, it's the state. It's the state of it all.
This is state 2005.
So, like, cool. When like 55 years ago, like no one cares.
Meanwhile, a woman will be like owning a network on television.
currently.
Literally.
And she'll be like, no. I'm not a really good writer. I don't know what I'm doing.
Yes, because I think so many women have been taught, like, you need to be quieter, you need to be prettier, you need to be smarter, you need to be better. And so then if you do take ownership of that, it also makes other women really uncomfortable to see that.
100, and you're like, yes, it's so fucked up. It makes me really sad.
Exactly.
Just say thank you.
Just say,
Just
really?
like practice saying thank you. It's hard. It's hard.
Try it once. Not thank you, but like,
Not thank you, but
never thank you, but just a thank you. Let's just try it.
yeah, big thanks. That was so nice.
Shonda said so.
Say it.
So in 2017, Shonda Rhimes was television's highest paid showrunner.
As she should be.
Shonda was making more than $2 billion for Disney.
Damn.
More than $2 billion for Disney. However,
How much was she getting?
not enough. Not enough. And there were battles, Tess, over budget, over content. So her reps were back in discussions with the company about a new multi-year deal. And Shonda was feeling pretty restless at this time. She said that she felt like she was dying, like she had been pushing the same ball up the same hill in the exact same way for a really long time. I think she was just not feeling creatively fulfilled, kind of like a cog in the machine. Mm-hmm. And she knew her breaking point would come, but she had no idea what it would be. This is crazy. So as a part of her ABC relationship, Shonda had been given an all-inclusive pass to Disneyland. So yeah, that is something. If you're on an ABC show, a Hulu show, like you can
go to Disney whenever you want. You
get to cut all the lines.
You get the VIP.
Exactly.
The little tour guide.
So Shonda had that for herself. And because she was single, she negotiated to get a second pass for her nanny.
Okay.
But on this particular day, she also needed one for her sister because I guess Shonda's nanny was going to be taking all three of her daughters, so Shonda wanted her sister to go and help watch all the girls.
Oh, she had 3 kids?
She has 3 daughters.
Damn.
Yes. So she was like, I just need an extra, like, all-inclusive pass for my nanny. So
Disney, don't be stingy.
Tess, they literally said, we never do this. You guys, she's making $2 billion with a B. She's making $2 billion. And
they can't bring her nanny?
They say we never do this. She was told that more than once, and then she finally was issued an additional pass. But when her daughters and the nanny and her sister arrive in Anaheim, only one of the passes worked, and they were refusing to let them in. So Shonda called a high-ranking exec at Disney, and she was like, surely, like, he's going to get this sorted right away. And allegedly, the exec replied, don't you have enough? She had built their network. She had created their most valuable shows, and they were still treating her like an employee and not an owner.
What the actual fuck?
Literally? What
I'm appalled.
Disney, you have so much money. You can't get one more pass for Shonda Rhimes?
A million people are there a day. What difference does it make?
It's so disgusting.
That's horrific.
Imagine the disrespect.
Oh, I would lose my fucking mind. I really would.
Don't cross an earth sign like that.
Don't do it. I would beg, do you know who I am? I would be a monster.
She has every right. It's like she is keeping your network alive. So they said, don't you have enough? Shonda was beside herself.
Truly.
She thanked him for his time. Then she hung up and called her lawyer and said, figure out a way to get me over to Netflix or I will find new lawyers immediately.
Hot. I love it.
I love it.
And that's what you need to do if someone fucking doesn't show up for you and treats you like that.
Yes, know your worth, because it's also like she's not afraid of the Disney exec and she's not afraid of her lawyers.
I love that so much.
Same. So, what happened next transformed not only Shonda's career, but the television industry at large. So that August, the news became official. Shonda Rhimes would be leaving her creative hub of 15 years for a first of its kind 9-figure overall deal at Netflix. Nice. So this also marked the shift of power from traditional networks to streaming.
I mean, God, when it changed, it all changed, didn't it?
It did. And Shonda was one of the first major creators to make that leap. Ryan Murphy would follow after her.
What was her first Netflix show?
Bridgerton.
Which now I'm like, I think I need to watch Bridgerton. Guys, I never have.
I watched you didn't watch
Just
the first
pilot.
season?
No, just the pilot.
Oh, the first season, the sex scenes. Because the sex scenes, like before there was heated rivalry, there was Bridgerton. Not like.
Is it nudity?
Yes.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. Well,
Really?
Yeah. Am I remembering this right?
It's with like the pop music as instrumental, right?
Yes.
It's like which is also genius.
But it was just a genius. Also very ram-coded.
Very ram-coded.
There's like quite graphic sex scenes.
Okay. I'll start watching.
Like I could go and watch tonight.
Yeah.
I just watched the first season. I need to get back in. I mean, it's still so big.
I mean, people love it.
Yeah. So you want some like inside the sauce on how it all came to be.
Yeah.
I feel like you'll appreciate this with LA. So Shonda's eyes first started to wander over to Netflix in the fall of 2016 when she agreed to meet Netflix's CEO, Ted Sarandos, for breakfast in LA at Republic.
Classic great bread.
Great French toast.
Great. I mean, really a great choice to meet. And it's like in the middle of everything, kind of.
Well, it's an industry hotspot, which, by the way, I saw Ted, the Netflix guy, at Sunset Tower and Pedro Pascal on the other side.
LA.
But
LA tings.
that Netflix guy, he's just so like recognizable.
Yeah.
Old Ted. So Republic is the industry hotspot. She walked to a table in the back, petrified that someone would see her out having breakfast with Ted, and start to ask questions.
Small little town, isn't it?
It really is. They're like, what's Shonda Rhimes doing with the head of Netflix? She's such an ABC girly. Little did they know they were taking away her Disney pass. So when she sat down, she laid out what she wanted to do and, just as important, what she didn't want to do at Netflix. She said, you're not going to get another Grey's Anatomy. Not Grey's Anatomy in a cornfield, Grey's Anatomy on a baseball field, or Grey's Anatomy in an airport. That's just not happening. And he said, I never expect it to. So Shonda had every intention of keeping her flagship series running at ABC, regardless of whether she herself would stay at ABC, which is crazy. I think I'd be like, I'm so done with them.
Same. I would never want to speak to any of them again.
Never again. And also, like, who has the time?
This woman is busy with 3 children, too. My God.
And she said, I just want to be in a place where I can come make stuff and no one's going to bother me or make me feel like I'm beholden. And he was like, that sounds great to me. Also, at this time, Grey's had logged the most viewing hours of any single show on Netflix.
I mean, yeah.
So Ted was like, Shonda, please.
He's like, do anything. It's fine.
Anything you want. So Shonda Rhimes signed an initial 5-year deal with Netflix in 2017, reported to be worth $100 million to $150 million.
Good for her. Where does she live in LA?
So she actually lives in Connecticut now.
Oh, really?
I watched her Call Her Daddy interview.
She doesn't have a place here?
I'm sure she has a place here.
I wonder where it is.
Where would she be? Maybe Bel Air.
Yeah.
Bel Air, or like a massive house in Encina or Toluca Lake.
100%.
Because like to be close to
the studios.
Exactly. To be close to ABC studio. I could see a Toluca Lake house. But yeah, she lives in Connecticut now and she says she loves it because in LA, people are so in the industry. Like a waiter's going to know that Shonda Rhimes. They're going to be like, I have a script for you. Do you mind sending it to
You can like disappear a little bit.
In Connecticut, she's like, no one gives a shit. I go to Costco and no one cares.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
And that's the way to do it. That's like Julia Roberts living in San Francisco. She's like, no one approaches me. You know?
That's shocking to me, though.
I know. She lives in Pacific Heights.
Like even in
San Francisco?
Yeah. That's crazy.
Yeah. She like, and her neighbors are always like, it's just Julia. Like no one like.
She's everywhere. She's so Julia.
Right. But yeah, I like when actors do that because like they're able to kind of like the paparazzi's not following them.
Exactly.
Or they're calling the paparazzi on themselves.
Well, that's what I was about to say. I think it's a lot easier. Did you see that apparently Zendaya and Tom Holland are married?
Married.
So it is truly like you can be private if you want to be private.
Of course you can.
Yeah.
And that changes everything.
It really
that
does.
you think about celebrities. Like it's pretty easy probably to not get your picture taken.
I know. I think it is.
They're not just everywhere, guys, on every block.
No, exactly.
They're not waiting for you unless it's like Well, unless it's outside your house.
Yeah, which is disgusting.
Which is disgusting. Guys, stop doing that.
Stop.
Yeah.
Literally stop. So it's a huge deal, and Bridgerton becomes one of Netflix's biggest shows ever. Following the massive success of Bridgerton, this contract was extended and renegotiated in 2021. Following the massive success of Bridgerton, this contract was extended in 2021 with potential earnings exceeding $300 to $450 million
For her?
For her.
How rich is she?
She's worth like...
What the hell?
She's
I mean,
worth...
she deserves every penny.
Right now, she has a net worth of $250 million is what I saw.
I'd almost think more.
Well, I wonder if that like went to her production company
Yeah.
almost.
You probably have to like spread it out a little bit.
Shondaland.
Yeah. Oh, that's fair.
Yeah.
So like what she actually put. I mean, $250 million is a lot of money.
It is, but I also would think like it would be, and who knows, like the internet can also get that so wrong.
Yeah, you
but
also have to pay a lot of people. You own a lot of nice
taxes.
places. The taxes, you live in California, you lose like half of them.
Seriously, like I feel like it's probably like 500 million.
Probably with taxes. Tax
With-
season coming up.
Yeah, exactly. Oh
God.
God.
Let's not talk about it.
Yeah, I'm avoiding that one for sure. But yeah, so she is just making so much money. And she also, I forgot, produced the drama miniseries Inventing Anna.
Oh, yeah.
About Anna.
The scam artist.
Yes.
That's right.
That girl is so ram-coded to me.
I know, but I
But we
resist
can't
her,
touch
though.
her.
I don't know why. I'm
don't
like
know what
so
that is
disinterested
either.
in her.
Yeah, but I forgot that was a Shonda show.
Yeah.
Again, a complicated woman.
Of course.
And then in 2022, the production of Queen Charlotte, a Bridgerton story, which was also by Shonda Rhimes, was announced as a spinoff of Bridgerton. And it's so interesting because with all of the success, she's talked about how it's been really hard for her to conceptualize all of the success. She is one of the highest paid showrunners ever. And she remembers it being really hard to settle in the fact that she had real power. And it's like, what is she supposed to do with it now? And I thought this was really interesting. She said this on Call Her Daddy. She said it wasn't quite imposter syndrome, but you know what happens when all of your dreams come true? Absolutely nothing. You're still you. I'm still the person clipping coupons and thinking, maybe I should get that on sale, and maybe I shouldn't get too comfortable with these shows. I'm still the same person, but now suddenly I'm surrounded by different trappings. It's about getting used to the trappings of power and what that means and being able to utilize them. The trappings change. You don't change. I feel like sometimes success makes you more of who you are. People who are anxious get more anxious. People who are not nice get more not nice. It makes you more of what you are.
A lot of really bad things come with that kind of money.
Yeah, which I
Even
thought
for the most
interesting.
amazing people, like you kind of don't know what to do with it. People then take advantage of you. You still have the same mentality that you had, so it must feel uncomfortable sometimes.
I think that's really interesting and such a good point that it just kind of exaggerates like behaviors that you already have.
It's like, oh God, it's comforting in a way and also scary in a way to be like, once you get something so big, you're still you and everything's kind of like, of course, like life is easier, right? Like,
Of course, there is
you have more
like
access, you have more privilege, comfortability, all of that. But like, you're still, your mind doesn't care how rich you are, successful you are.
exactly. I thought that was so interesting. She's like, you know what changes? Absolutely nothing.
Nothing. And then you still also want like the next big thing. There's like a lot of hard things with success, I bet. like
Exactly. And then you get there and you're like, why doesn't this feel any different or exciting or like
yeah, you're always going to be there.
you're still you. Also crazy that Shonda Rhimes is cutting out coupons.
Yeah. And that, like, I feel so many people deal with that.
I know. And I'm like, sis, I think you can take a break though.
And also, like, get yourself a nice pair of whatever you want. Like, you can go on a little shopping spree and you deserve it, honey.
Yeah, truly, truly. So that is all of her career. I thought we'd talk a little bit about her personal life as we start to wrap this up. In her personal life, Tess, like we talked about before, she has 3 daughters. All of her daughters are from adoption or surrogacy, but her first daughter she adopted, and she adopted after 9/11.
It's always after 9/11, isn't it? Who knew this episode was going to be so 9/11 coded?
No, really? Who knew?
She was like, I need family. I need support.
She said that 9/11 happened and it made her feel like the world was ending and that she hadn't accomplished her true life goals. And so she created a list of things she wanted to do if the world ended. And adopting a baby and becoming a mother was at the top of her list.
I mean, that is so fair. We were so young during 9/11.
Sorry, my hands are so clammy. It's
Same.
so sweaty.
It is hot in the studio. That, like, we don't know what that felt like of truly being like, the world is ending. We are all going to die probably soon. This is going to happen again. but we were like, whatever. Like,
I was like, what?
I was like, I'm really confused what this was.
Same. My mom picked me up and said something like about George Bush. And I was like, what?
We conceptualize it in such a different way.
Yes.
That adults must have been like, oh my God, I need to do stuff I've always wanted to do right now.
Right. I can't even imagine because like
No, of course. I mean, like, it's easy, guys, just to,
well, it's like, it's so traumatic. Nick and Jessica, like after 9/11 happened, they decided to get married.
And they would never have been married if it weren't for 9/11. And
Exactly.
look what happened to them.
Exactly.
It's just crazy.
And so it's just like, it's hard, like you're saying, to just really conceptualize
when you're a child.
like.
Yeah.
Yes.
But that totally makes sense, though, of just like, fuck, I've always wanted to do this. So that's like very beautiful.
So she hired an adoption attorney after 9/11, and her daughter was born 9 months and 2 days after 9/11.
That's a lot going on. That is a lot going on at once.
And she named her daughter Harper Lee after the author.
So pretty.
I know. Isn't that gorgeous?
I love.
Lots of female writers in that. So Shonda had 3 daughters, all by adoption or surrogacy. She became a mother intentionally on her own timeline, which we love. And again, she was single while she was doing all this.
Yeah.
She was a single mother. She was writing Crossroads right after she had adopted her baby.
Crazy.
Women are so
Can do it all.
can do it all. And she said that she didn't want a partner. She had built a life for herself, and motherhood deeply changed her priorities, but she never stopped working. Like, she was building her empire while raising 3 children, but she's always been very vocal about not being interested in marriage. She knew she was going to be a mom, but marriage never really called to her, even though she had these parents that were like a perfect example of marriage.
Interesting.
Yeah, she said that she just really valued her independence, and she was engaged once, and she ended up calling it off. And she said that it just felt so inauthentic to be someone that wanted to be married that she felt suffocated. And it's really interesting because I think I relate to her. I'm someone who, like, marriage has not been something that's ever really called to me in that way, because she said that people were more happy for her when she was engaged than all of her career and when she adopted her children combined. And she felt that it threatened her identity and that people were going to see her value in being married and not in her career.
Wow. And you shouldn't have to choose. You can do everything you want.
Exactly. And that's kind of how I relate to her. And I feel like as I'm getting older, I'm trying to even like shift my mindset of that, of like, you don't have to be put in a box.
Totally.
But
I mean, that's just the patriarchy, being like, if you're married, you're like a weak, like submissive woman. And if you're a career woman, you're a bitch who doesn't care about anyone else but yourself. And it's like, you can just be whoever you want to be and do whatever you want to do.
Exactly.
But I don't blame her for feeling that way, though.
Well, exactly. But however, she's recently said that she's more open to the idea of marriage now. Her daughters are older. Her youngest daughter is 12. And she says that, and I think this is huge, she feels so much more comfortable in her skin and knowing who she is, that she feels more comfortable inviting someone in her life.
Yeah, and that is all it is, isn't it? To love thyself.
Love thyself, exactly, because she isn't worried that something's going to be taken away from her, or that she's going to have to compromise pieces of her career or for what she's accomplished. Because also,
a lot of men, not all men, but a lot of men.
But a lot of them being like the highest paid showrunner in Hollywood, like that is so threatening to a lot of men. So I'm happy for her, just that she can be in a place where she's like, I'm open to the idea of it.
Well, I think it's like really beautiful when you can surprise yourself, you know, like when you're like, wait a second, I actually might be interested in that. Like, that's like a really cool thing of life, you know?
And that women can change their minds if they want to.
Exactly.
At any point in your
About
life.
everything. You can change careers. You can change your opinions on anything you want.
Exactly. So I thought that was really beautiful.
Yeah.
So November 2015, Shonda released her first book, Year of Yes. The book, which candidly chronicles her moving and humorous attempts to come out of her shell by saying yes to everything that scares her. And it was an instant New York Times bestseller. Like, that book was huge.
I remember.
And Tess, in 2017, Shonda joined the National Board of Planned Parenthood. Later that same year, Rhimes and Katie McGrath co-founded Time's Up, and both of them donated the funds to hire its first 7 employees.
Amazing.
I had no idea that Shonda Rhimes created Time's Up.
Wow. Maybe I did know that. But that's just so cool.
And like, doesn't that make sense?
What a woman.
What a woman. Her accolades include that she is a 5-time NAACP Image Award winner. Planned Parenthood awarded Shonda Rhimes the first ever Champion of Change Award for her commitment to the issues of gender, sex, sexuality, and race. In 2007, 2013, and 2021, Shonda was named by Times Shonda was named by Time to the Time 100 of their 100 most influential people in the world.
Yeah.
As of 2023, she is one of the richest women entertainers in America with a net worth of $250 million. She's won so many awards. Like, it's just,
We don't have the time.
look her up.
Yeah, literally.
So Shonda has said, quote, I hope there's space for women to feel like there are still trails to be blazed, but that the blazing of the trails doesn't feel like you're blazing them alone anymore.
That's so nice.
I know. I love that she's like, go out and like
Yes,
get it. But
you're not isolated.
exactly. Shonda Rhimes didn't just change television. She changed who gets to be complicated, ambitious, and in control on television. And once you've seen that, you can't unsee it. In a culture that loves powerful women until they actually use their power, Shonda Rhimes never apologized for hers. Shonda understood something most people don't. The stories we watch teach us what's possible, and she made sure women saw more. Because in the end, Shonda Rhimes wasn't just writing drama. She was rewriting who gets to be the main character.
Wow.
And that is Shonda Rhimes.
What a fucking cool person.
Isn't she amazing?
Wow, also we like powerful women until they become...
Until they use their power.
But it's the same thing. Like we like sexy women until they're too sexy and then they're slutty.
Well, exactly. We like vaginas until you're using it in a medical term and then it's disgusting. You know what I mean?
I know what you mean, Claire.
You know?
And it's awful.
Right.
But thank God for Shonda.
I just think that, like, we don't even realize how Shonda has changed the world, because so much change in the world comes from what we watch on TV, like entertainment.
Yeah. Oh my, it's you when you see yourself or you see the potential of yourself or something you want to be on screen, it can change everything. It is so powerful.
It's so powerful. The things that she has done for women and for race and for women's rights, like, it's incredible.
And like we only get a certain, like, we can only understand so little of that. Like imagine being a black teenage girl watching Scandal and being like, Olivia Pope is one of the most popular characters right now in the world.
Imagine being a black teenage girl and watching Shonda Rhimes.
No kidding.
It's just incredible. And I can't imagine that it was ever easy. I mean, she's such a Capricorn. Like, only a Capricorn could work that much.
Literally. Like, I couldn't do it, but thank God that she can. Someone can.
Truly.
Make
And
those stories.
I would love to, like, interview Shonda Rhimes one day.
I just saw her on something that I was like, how many followers does that podcast have? Like, maybe you want to come on over.
Y'all want to tag Shonda Rhimes on our carousel?
Hi, Shonda.
Hi, Shonda. Because she was doing press because they did a second issuing of The Year of Yes.
Oh,
so
cool.
I think she was doing press for that.
Good for her.
I know. Wow. Shonda, you are so inspiring. And we are honored to be telling your story at USC.
We really are. And good job, Claire. You did amazing.
Thanks. And I love you, Crossroads.
We will always love you. If it makes you happy,
it can't be that bad. And we've been saying that.
Oh, make it the carousel song.
Oh my God.
We need to. We've never used it before.
We must.
Long way from here.
Stunning, Tess. Thank you. Well, you guys, thank you so much for listening. If you are new here, make sure that you subscribe to our show on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, wherever you listen to us. Make sure to follow us on social media across all platforms at Right Answers Mostly. And if you love the show and you want more of us, or you'd like to support the show, you can join our premium channel. The link is in the show notes. You get 3 bonus episodes a month. You get early access to merch. You get added to our close friends list on Instagram, where there's lots of hidden posts and stories.
And we have an extra week in March, so we still have 2 more episodes to give to you guys for Women's History Month, and I think you will be very interested in them.
I think so too. And please share our show with your friends. It makes such a difference to us.
Do it. Send someone a text. Send someone that used to watch Grey's Anatomy a text with today from this episode.
Exactly.
Do it.
And we love you.
Love you.
Bye.
Bye.